Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Jason Wietharn. I'm the CRM Practice Director here at Velosio. Velosio is a premier partner of Microsoft. A little bit about my background. I've got experience leading sales, customer service, and field service organizations, but really my passion is helping organizations and people really achieve their North Star. What we're going to talk about today really excites me. And throughout the years, and even last week, I was talking to a client. It's something that I think a lot of people, a lot of organizations struggle with, especially when it comes to around the best practices. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about driving revenue, how to do that and how to think about that, right? Now, for me, I'm a data guy. So when I think about driving revenue and data, then I naturally move over to thinking about KPIs, right? I think one of the things that people really struggle around KPIs first and foremost is how do you keep it simple, accurate, and easy to access, right? So when you think about simple, if it's not, and you can't easily digest it, right? Then that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If it's not accurate, you're not going to trust it. And if it's not easy to access, well, then it really doesn't become a best practice or a habit that you can really drive to. And I'll talk about that a little bit more, but it really becomes something of an afterthought, right? KPIs can range. There's all kinds of examples in terms of KPIs depending on what you're managing, et cetera. So this is not an exhaustive list, but it helps us maybe get into the right frame of mind. I think about things like tracking utilization, number of leads in a particular month, maybe revenue budget for a month or sales bookings for a month, time to invoice or time to cash. And if you're thinking more around customer service, field service, maybe it's that first time fix rate. There's a lot of different things there, but it's really important to understand what your goals are and then come up with those KPIs that can really help you understand how you are performing in that business. Now, interestingly, about a year ago, Gartner published a research article that said companies are losing out, get this now, losing out about 5 to 15% in their monthly revenue because of lack of focus on KPIs. Now let's make that feel a little bit more real. Let's say that we've got $1 million budget that we're trying to focus on and trying to drive revenue this particular month. That equates to close to 70K. And you think about all the churn that could happen and the lack of focus over a given year, boy, that revenue really adds up. And I don't know about you, but that is a lot of money to me. Now, as I mentioned, KPIs, they can certainly help you track how you are achieving to your goals. But more importantly, at least the way I look at it is I want to see where my gaps are, right? I want to see those gaps so I can help identify where I can accelerate and where I need to course correct. And what I was mentioning about earlier, if you are starting to get in the habit, when you think about that, in terms of managing certain KPIs on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, not only becomes habit, but now what you're doing is you're managing proactively. And when you're managing proactively, you're giving yourself the best opportunity to really drive as much revenue home as possible, right? I mean, you think about it. I can't even believe that we're almost towards the end of August. So time just flies, right? So you've got to make the most of it. And certainly when you think about KPIs, it also drives transparency and accountability. If you think about across the organization, everybody is probably having some level of impact. So if they understand what the goals are, they understand how they're contributing, they understand where they're missing the mark, it becomes top of mind. If it's top of mind, there's more focus. And more focus is going to drive accountability. Now, here at Velosio, not only do we have solutions to help around KPI, but also taking it almost to that next level, right? We can actually take KPIs and put a data model behind it, so you can you could see real time, right? If you make certain decisions, how that's going to impact your revenue and your margin. And that, to me, is pretty cool stuff. That's stuff that we're applying today here at Velosio, and we're seeing more and more customers really jump on that. So anyways, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed this little bit of clip, and hopefully you're excited about driving revenue like I do. And if you need any help, hopefully you know where to reach out.